Let's move on. We move on to Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-10, 0-5 on the road. At Tennessee Titans, 8-4, 4-2 at home. Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee, 48 Fahrenheit, 3 miles per hour, and sunny. This total opens up at 43.5. Pinnacle's moved it 4 cents, but the other books have moved it to 44. And from a spread perspective here, we have and Baltimore opened up as 1 point favorites at Pinnacle, by the way, as well. And moved to 2.5 to Cleveland. Here in the Jacksonville spot, we have Tennessee opening up as 11-point favorites, and it just keeps dropping. 9.5, now 8.5 at Pinnacle. This total at over 43.5. Opened at, and it's now again at 44. I said that already. Jacksonville comes in off their 4 straight loss, 37-7 setback at the Rams. They've lost 16 consecutive games to NFC teams dating back to September of 2018. Their offense managed just 197 yards, total yards. Trevor Lawrence, 16-28 for 145 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Laquan Treadwell was the leading receiver with 4 catches for 62 yards. They managed just 61 yards on the ground off 25 carries. Carlos Hyde, 9-24 for a touchdown. James Robinson, 8-24. I mean, they're just not moving. Neither of them were moving the ball on the ground, and they both lost fumbles. Jacksonville's defense hung in throughout the first half. They prevented the Rams from converting any of their 6 third downs in the first half, but they could apply no pressure on Stafford. Finished with 1 sack and 2 quarterback hits. Center Brandon Linder injured his back. He's listed as questionable. Tyson Campbell, a rookie cornerback, got an abdominal injury in the third quarter. He's also listed as questionable. So is defensive tackle Devon Hamilton. He missed the game with a knee injury. Cornerback Shaquille Griffin was inactive. He's listed as questionable. Titans come in fresh off their bye week, one they desperately needed. They've used 86 different players this season. That's the most by an NFL team since at least 1993. They've also started 49 different players. They currently have 17 players on IR, and they needed this break. Against the Patriots in that last loss they had 16 players on the injury report, and 5 more were ruled out before the flight. That was a 36-13 loss at New England. The defense didn't look that bad. Byard had one of the 2 sacks. The safety Byard had one of the 2 sacks. But they held New England to 5 field goals, and they stalled 3 Patriot drives stalled inside the Tennessee 20. That makes me think I should go back to the with the Jags team total under. But maybe if I do that, I should just take the under. Tannehill threw for 93 yards on 11-21 passing with 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The offensive line's been terrible. Tannehill's been sacked 33 times, intercepted 13 times. And while they didn't throw it all, they put up 270 yards on the ground. Dontrell Hilliard, 12 of 131 in a touchdown. Donta Foreman, 19 of 109 yards. But they both did lose fumbles. 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits. They're getting healthier. Julio Jones, wide receiver Racey McMath, and safety Dane Cruikshank all returned to practice. They need Jones badly. They played only 4 receivers in that last game against the Patriots. So the problem is that the Titans just placed Kevin Byard on the reserve COVID-19 list, although they did activate linebacker Joe Jones from that list to the active roster. So against New England, right guard Nate Davis concussion, linebacker David Long hamstring, Rashawn Evans ankle, defensive tackle Tierra Tart, and running back Jeremy McNichols concussion. And they're all not good, even though the bye weeks happen. They're all still just listed as questionable. Cornerback Jack Rabbit Jenkins got hurt. He's still listed as questionable. Tommy Hudson and Monty Rice, tight end linebacker, respectively, each listed as questionable. Birdie says, I did bet the under 44. Here we go. And Dennis Garcia says, the last time Tennessee played, they had 270 yards rushing and 2 different 100-yard rushers. And that goes to his point that running backs don't matter. Bebsie, take it away. Jaguars, Titans.
Well, look, if I had a lean here, I'd take Jacksonville and the points, and that has more to do with the fact that Tennessee's offense has been decimated. But I think the look in this is the under. I really do. I see a Tennessee team that, does obviously need this win. They are the better team. But their offense is just banged up to shit. And look, we'll see what they're like coming out of a bye, a much-needed bye. But I've been impressed with Tennessee's defense here. So I understand your inclination to look at the Jacksonville team total under, but I just like this total under here, and I'm pretty confident in that. I don't see Tennessee being able to run the score up, and I don't see Jacksonville being able to score many points at all. So, yeah, let's lock in this under here.
Wonder why it's moved 4 cents to the over. Robert Allen says, I think everyone will pound the under in this game, but actually goes over. Bounce back for Jags versus divisional opponent. Titans want to get offense rolling. Sneaky over. We have 46% of the tickets on the under. So the public is betting the over, but 61% of the cash is on the under. Then you have 43% of tickets on Tennessee, 48% of the cash on Tennessee. You know, if this keeps dropping, at what point do you want the Titans? I don't think I need the Jacksonville Jaguars team total under 60.5. I think the under will be just fine. It is going to be a beautiful day, but I expect, 48 Fahrenheit, but still no wind and sunshine. I still think this is going to be a low-scoring affair. And I think what leads me there is, I know it's a 36-13 loss, but the Titans' defense looked pretty good in that game against the Patriots at times. Like, you were on the Titans in that spot. How much of that game did you watch, the Titans?
I watched a lot of it, and there were bad turnovers by the Titans, which really swung that game. I think they'll do a much better job protecting the ball against Jacksonville than that New England defense. You can't blame Tennessee's defense for that game. That was all their offense shitting the bed.
Yeah, I just Alex Ramirez on Titans -9. Birdie says, why can't the Jags win this 17-14?
That would be perfect, Birdie. I don't think they can. I mean, stranger things have happened. It is a divisional opponent. You know, it's Jacksonville. It's a no-pressure situation for Jacksonville, that's for sure.
Gerald Jones says 58% of NFL games have gone under the total this season. And no, Turnsy, Julio Jones is back at practice. Well, I think I'm going to move on the under 44 at -110 at this point tonight. I still find it interesting that there's even been this 4-cent move towards Pinnacle. And there had been a bigger one than that. When this came out at Pinnacle on Sunday at 7:26 p.m., it was at -106. Within 24 minutes, it went to -110. 16 minutes after that, it went to -117. So there was an 11-cent move to the over in the first 40 minutes. And in fact, that might be enough to keep me off this. If I've got enough action here, just to know that the initial move from the sharpest book that there is was towards the over, is enough to possibly at least have me second guessing the spot. And Alex Ramirez says Titans defense will shut down Jacksonville. He's on the Titans -9. I like it, but that initial move, let's see how much action I end up with, because there's going to be no need. Again, I need the 7th straight winning week. I need it bad. All right, let's move on.